interesting. So hope you guys are having a great day. So we're gonna start off by talking about the markets and have a look at and see what's going on with the S&P 500. So what I focus on is the wave theory. I like to see what's going on with the waves here, in the sense of, so not LU wave. This is just to see the pressure of the waves, where the price is in control, right? So this is the line chart that I look at right here. So we can see dominant wave down is still intact and it's still holding its value. So what I want to see here is, market is consolidating. I want to see this zone right here taken out completely by the bulls. So right now we're setting up very nice in the sense that we made a new higher low. We're starting to consolidate here. We can start to pick up coming towards the March seasonality is usually bullish right now. So we'll see what happens. February in this midterm year is usually very, very slow or choppy or bearish. So that's exactly how it's playing out. If you hear market makers saying that, or forecasters saying we're going to go in a market crash, when we get a market crash, we got a lot of levels to go through. So when the market crash does come, it'll be very evident, right? So you'll see S&P coming, you'll see the volume picking up. So right now, it's not too much of a concern for me. I'm just watching this and seeing what's happening. So if we look at the day-to-day action, look at the S&P 500 today. If we just look at it today, and we can see that, S&P 500 is holding this trend line on their daily. It's got a clear supply zone right about here, okay? So between 453 and about 458. So I will get long the S&P 500 when it gets above 458. Until then, I'm taking small trades, scalping if I see the setup. If there's no setup, I'm not taking the trade. So if I go into the hourly, I'll show you guys what I mean. In the hourly time frame, we did have a setup here to take, and it was very, very small to say. If we look at this right here, right, this was the demand zone right about here, where this is where buyers are. So S&P 500 came here today. Look, if you look at the 5-minute time frame, see volume consolidating right above here. FMOC comes, we get a big push here. Sellers come in, push it down. But if you see the volume here, there's more buying than selling, as you can see per wick. So this was a dominating candle. This is where I took my trade on S&P 500, waited for the pullback. This is nice, and this is a confirmation setup. So this is one of the setups I trade: a breakout, pullback, and then volume picks up here, and this is where I entered. This is a bull flag breakout on the intraday time frame, right? But overall, market is still choppy. It can go in any direction right now. I do not want to take any long position or swing it. If we look at the Qs are even, you can see more interesting here. We can see clear demand zone right about here, where about 335 to about 342. All right, so we need the Qs to break about this level right here, right? So about 370. This is where the Qs need to get above and really start chugging higher. Otherwise, we're going to see a consolidating down, symmetrical triangle setting up here. So we're going to see a break in either direction. I'm just paying attention to the volume here over the coming days. I see the volume is starting to pick up. There's more bullish and bearish here, right, over the last few days. So it looks like long-term portfolios may be adding to their positions. So we'll keep an eye on this, and we'll see how the Qs do. But so far, nothing to be concerned about. Same thing with the Qs. If we look at the waves here, it's also setting up an upward trend right here on a bigger time frame, on a daily. And also I'm looking for this break of right here, 366, and the confirmation is 371. Right, so I would wait for this move to be settled before I start to take a trade in the Qs. Right, we are having day-to-day action in stocks, but we are not having great action when it comes to individual or the markets just overall, right? So on the weekly time frame here, there's no panic. We are taking a break on a weekly time frame. Still a strong trend to the upside. We're consolidating between two levels here, but it'll be concerning to me if the Qs break 334. We can easily come down to 316 and then about 300. But until this breaks, there's no reason to worry, right? So this is a lower high. I understand that we are in a predominant downtrend, but we're starting to push higher here on the downside. So buyers are starting to come in. I'm not too worried at this moment. All right, looking at IWM. IWM is interesting here. It's breaking its long-term range here. So it consolidated between two levels. and it's breaking it. Now this is a critical moment for IWM. I feel we're having a retest. If this retest fails, then it can drastically come down really fast. So if we historically look at IWM, when the last time, sorry, it did these breakouts here, so you can just say right about here, right? It did break out, right? Then 2020 crash happened, and then it broke down here again. So here, we can see a breakout again, retest, and it pushed higher. So right now we're having a test on the lower side. So what we want to see here is we want to see this successfully get back in range. If it does not, what's going to happen here is it's going to completely fail. Okay, so what's going to happen here is it's going to reject this level, go back to this, and then we're going to see something like this, right? So there's two possible scenarios for IWM. It gets back in here, right? So if it gets back in here, I want to see it push higher. I want to see volume picking up. I want to see buyers stepping in, which they have been, as you guys can clearly see here. But we'll take a look at this in a more of a clear picture as the coming weeks come. Right now, I'm not too worried about IWM. I want to see if this fails. As you guys can see here, there's been consistent buying right about here. We have some strong selling here, and then we have buying coming in again. So we got to see if buying continues to pick up. If it does not, this could be an indication of shorts covering. We'll see how this plays out. If this fails and starts reversing and gets below 188, well, we're going to go all the way down to 166. There's a big level, and we'll see what happens with IWM, but so far all eyes on it. It's neutral right now. Let's take a look at TIA. This is the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, it's in a consolidation right here, so I'm not too worried about it per se. There is this like uptrend right here that was intact. The resistance levels holding really well. So what I want to see is these levels defeated. Right now Dow Jones is back in range. It's just it's just back here. It's holding the supply zone. There's nothing else to do here. So this is, sorry, the demand zone here is holding. Buyers are coming in here. It's consolidating in a range. It's got massive like up moves and down moves and gaps. It can't figure out which way to go, which makes sense with the tensions with Russia right now. So once again, if markets do fall, they'll show us, right? They'll show us accumulating volume to the downside, right? The volume will fall and it will rise. Right now there's no need to worry. I would just trade with my plan and with my stop losses in mind. Right now these are all the major indexes. All right, so let's look at gold. Gold is picking up here. I like how it is. There's a lot of buying in gold. There's been a lot of purchasing in gold. If we just look at the weekly here, consistently, even on every dip, there's been a lot of buying in gold. Okay, this is what I see. So gold is very, very I wouldn't say it's like people are speculating, right? They're protecting themselves, they're hedging themselves. Inflation is all-time high, so gold is an old hedge against inflation. So right now we're at about 174. If you can pick up 180 is not out of the park, and then we got about 183 and then 192. If we get about 192, this is shaping up to be a nice cup and handle pattern forming here, and if this does break, we can be on our way up very, very fast. But now we just have to pay attention to what happens here and how volume reacts. Remember, anything that is moved is based on cause and effect. Cause and effect is caused by volume. It's caused by participants and what they think will happen, right? So do not guess, right, what's going to happen. Trade your plan. Markets are very choppy. Stay safe.